Beautiful life. It's the 30th of July 2024 and this is the tour of the RNLI Exmouth. Brian, he's given me a tour of the lifeboat station in Exmouth.
Okay, this is the inshore lifeboat.
Right, okay.
Affectionately known as the ILB.
Yeah.
The other boat is known as the ALB, the all-weather lifeboat. This boat never goes out of sight of land.
Right, okay.
So it does a lot of shore work around the cliff bottoms and rescues people who are cut off by the tide, things like that.
Yeah.
Or kite surfers or anybody that's having problems just out here in the sea.
How many knots can she do?
About 30 knots.
Yeah.
This one. It's got a 50 horse Mariner engine on it. So this is a reasonably new boat. We've only had it a few years. It's called the George Bierman II.
Yeah.
In honour of a gentleman by the name of George Bierman that was lost at sea.
Right, okay.
His family came, or his great-grandchildren came and bought us a new boat about 25 years ago.
Yeah.
And then a few years ago, I think 2017, when was it? Yeah, 2017, they came to see their boat, and we said, well, we're just about to get rid of it because it's all the stitchings tend to go, so it needed replacing. And they said, have you got funding for it? And at the time, we had partial funding towards it.
Yeah.
And
so it's an old boat, but it's new to you?
No, this is a brand new boat.
Oh,
so
right,
they bought this. They bought this for us brand new.
Right, okay.
5 years ago.
Yeah.
So this is this will do us another 20 odd years, hopefully.
Yeah.
It's how it works in here. A lot of people come in, they want to support us, and they make donations, anything from £5 to 750,000 towards the boat through.
So how many call-outs has she had this year, this one?
Oh, I don't know offhand. We've got a record by the front door there.
Yeah.
It'll probably be about 20 odd, I think.
Uh-huh.
We can check that when we get out to the front door.
What are the main call-outs?
Windsurfers, kite surfers, people getting just in difficulty in the water. They'll go for a swim where they shouldn't be swimming. The tide here, when it's rushing out, is probably 5 to 6 knots.
Yeah.
And I don't know anybody that can swim that fast. Quite often, and people on the shore will telephone in and say that they think these people are in trouble. So we'll launch, report into the Coast Guard to say we're doing a self-launch, or the Coast Guard might even require us to go and launch, and we go to wherever they send us. So, yeah. So
notice along the beach here, there's a lot of no bathing zones.
Yeah.
Is that because of riptides?
Not riptides as such. It's just the speed of the tide.
Right. Okay.
As it goes past the different inlets and outlets down the beach, the tide accelerates and slows down. There's some places it's safer to swim than others. The kite surfers and windsurfers and the dinghy sailors don't really bother about it.
Yeah.
They
know better.
They know better.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for, I think it's about 80,000 will buy you this.
Crumbs.
And a trained crew.
Yeah.
So the price of this, I think they include the cost of training a crew for it.
How long is that over then for then, if it's a trained crew that you're paying for as well?
Pardon?
How long a period is that for if it's a trained crew you're paying for as well?
Well, when they're here, obviously they're volunteers.
Of course, yeah, sorry.
So when the established crew think that they're good enough to go and be trained, they would go for training down to pool headquarters, and you'd be down there for a week. So 3-man crew, 3 times the cost.
What are the main trades, day trades for the people that work on the boats here?
Anything. Ambulance drivers, medics, fishermen, airline pilot. all sorts.
Yeah, that's the opposite, isn't it?
Well, yeah, but Max
Yeah.
is the airline pilot. He's a coxswain on here. He's probably been here 20 years.
Yeah, crumbs.
You know, and the good part about what I like about it is the fact that people are here because they want to be.
Yeah.
Nobody has to be.
Yeah.
You know, we don't complain about the wages.
Yeah.
There aren't any.
Well, I mean, apart from the rescue side, it's fantastic being at one with the elements and almost being out of control of the elements. You know, I was full-time mountain rescue for 5 years, being in all extreme weather conditions, and you get used to. It's like a drug, actually. You get used to pushing yourself to the limits and beyond, and you're high on endorphins all the time, and it's the best drug in the world.
Ideal, yeah.
In some areas.
Yeah. So, you know a little bit about the boat?
Yeah.
It's obviously rubber canvas composition. The side tubes are sectioned, so that should there be a case where they snag something on a rock and it goes down, the boat will still keep, this tube is separate to that tube is separate to the front tubes.
Right, okay.
It's not a rib, like a lot of people call it. It's an ib, it's an inflatable boat. Yeah. So there's nothing rigid about it. The floor is inflated to about 1.5 bar. So it's all pretty flexible, really. In here we carry ropes for towing and getting ourselves in and out of corners. In here we've got protective equipment for any casualties that we pick up. In the other side we carry a spare foot pump. Yeah. So that if there is a problem we can just unscrew this, connect the foot pump up to there, and somebody could just keep pumping slowly while they're getting back to the station. Should we clip a rock with the propeller, behind that cover there, it's a spare propeller. Yeah. And the guy, if usually one of the guys, they'll switch the engine off, they'll jump in the water, and they can take the split pin out, pull the propeller off, put the new one on, new split pin in, on your way back, and then replace that with a new one.
Nice one.
Yeah. Here you've got the usual radio, GPS. This does what it says on the box. Yeah. In here we carry flares, day and night flares. Yeah. Should they need them. Yeah. This here and on that side are the fuel tanks.
Right, okay.
So everything's soft. Recently they've started replacing stainless steel handles here with rubber handles, just to stop the guys bashing into them. So everything in here is as soft as they can make it, to look after the guys.
Right, okay.
We carry an anchor in here, so if they've got to reverse into anywhere, they'll throw this anchor out, reverse in. If you've got any waves pushing you onto the beach, this will stop you getting thrown into the beach and damaging the propeller.
Nice one.
Okay.
Thank you.
The usual aerial on the back. That's about it with that one. A little purpose-built tractor. We have pushing it down to the beach. Yeah. It's quite a simple operation. So it's simple, no foot controls. Yeah. Hand control only, like a joystick, like an aeroplane. Yeah. Forward, reverse, left, right, and a twist grip.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's about it. We affectionately call him Dead Fred. So this is a dummy. Yeah. Probably about 14 stone when he's wet, and they just practice pulling it on board. Other odds and sods around the place. If we need to, we have stretchers that we can take out. You're probably familiar with those. Yeah.
I was with the old metal ones, the old belt stretchers in those days.
Yeah, well, we just obviously leave them as light as they can be to take out.
Yeah.
And then if they've got to be airlifted off the rib, they'll send somebody down from a helicopter on a cable. He'll fasten onto these, and then we may get.
Have you got your own helicopter locally based as well?
We don't know where the helicopter's coming from.
Right. Okay.
Come from anywhere.
Yeah.
Depends
Okay.
who sent it and what they've got available.
Yeah. Okay.
So obviously before they go in here, this is all the kit.
Yeah.
All the crew members that are eligible to drive that boat. So you can see we've got about 30.
What's the trophy for?
That's just turned up.
Is it really?
I don't know what it is.
Presented it to yourselves?
It's got nothing on it, so
Yeah.
a little mascot
Yeah.
up there.
And what's he called? What it called?
I've no idea. So these are the helmets that they use.
Yeah.
They're basically one size fits all.
Okay.
And what they will do, they have a bladder in here.
Yeah.
So once you're issued with a helmet, you will put it on, and then you will
Communication.
blow up
Oh right.
the
Okay.
bladder with that.
Yeah. Okay.
So it fits you better than put the bung in and forget about it.
Yeah.
So
I presume you've got a microphone in there as well.
no,
No.
they've got a radio on board.
Right.
So someone will operate the radio
Yeah. Okay.
on board.
Yeah.
Little things that,
And your flares.
well, these are the life jackets. Basically, these are old ones that we don't use. They're the ones that we do use, but we don't touch those.
Uh-huh.
So in here, pockets either side, so they will carry a flare,
Yeah.
nighttime, daytime.
They haven't changed in years, have they?
Now, apparently the only way they know which way round it is if you're holding that one, you've got a nighttime flare.
Yeah. It's a long time since I've seen one, so
Yeah.
I've needed a reminder on that one.
EPIRB,
Right. Okay.
emergency position indicator radio beacon.
Yeah.
There's one of these in every life jacket.
Uh-huh.
So if any of the crew should unfortunately go overboard, we can just press this, it'll ping open, and straight away that'll relay up to satellite, back down to Coast Guard and anyone else that could be listening.
Yeah. Amazing technology.
Yeah. This they've got one of these. Got one of these in every one. It's all casualty care,
Yeah.
which they're all trained up to. It's usually big sick and little sick.
Yeah.
So yeah. So these suits obviously will keep you dry.
Yes.
They're sealed.
Are they very hot?
They don't keep you warm.
Yeah.
If
Oh
you've
right.
got, if
Okay.
you've got water splashing on, you're going to be cold.
Right. Okay.
So what they do, they've all got a woolly bear,
Yeah.
which if you're hot, it'll just wick the sweat away.
Right. Okay.
Don't get too close to it. It smells.
Yeah. I can imagine. Yeah.
Or you know,
Lucky that
if
doesn't
you're
come on
cold.
camera yet.
So the guys reckon from coming in here, put that on, grab a
Yeah.
helmet and life jacket, 2 to 3 minutes,
Ah, okay.
and
Nice
they're
one.
out.
Yeah.
So they've all got their own.
Helmets. Yeah.
So this is the guy that's the airline pilot.
Right. Okay.
He's got an exceptionally small helmet.
How many members have you got at the moment then?
I think, because we don't always keep up to date with the tour guiding thing, I think we've got about 30 available members between both boats.
Right. Okay.
Nearly all the ones that have trained on the inshore boat will now be trained on the all-weather boat.
Ah, nice one.
The usual shower, toilet.
Yeah.
Okay,
Thank you very much.
so that's
You're right there.
all right. We're not worried.
You're not the airline pilot, are you?
So this is just some of the memorabilia that we've kept over the years.
Yeah.
But what happens now? All the crew carry a pager.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Beep beep. You don't want to hear it just as you're climbing into bed.
Yeah.
They also have an app on their telephone and if they are attending a shout, they can press attend or not attend,
Yeah.
and it will throw it up on this screen.
Right.
here.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
So that as the coxswain or the helm of the inshore boat come in, they can see who's
So you can
coming,
make split-second
and he can
decisions.
say, right, you're coming, you're coming, you're coming.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So that's it. Signal flags, which we don't use anymore.
Yeah.
And then if you're going out on the all-weather boats, you will come in this way.
Uh-huh.
This is we're out of bounds.
Okay.
Yes.
The
So
office.
this is the crew room
Yeah.
and office. Where we do all the discussing what's happened on a shout and discussing what we ought to do on the next shouts and
Right. Okay.
different things in here. This is a speed line,
Uh-huh.
which if we're trying to get a line across to another boat, we fire this off. It will fire a lightweight line over to the other boat,
Uh-huh.
tie a heavyweight line over, haul it over, and
So how's it powered?
Pardon?
How's it powered?
It's got an explosive charge in the
Cool.
middle,
Right. Okay.
which I always call it the rocket.
Yeah.
So these are things that people have given us.
Nice artwork, isn't it?
I think that was the Photographic Society, or the Camera Club.
That's nice.
Yeah,
Extreme conditions.
yeah. So
Some more offices.
the office,
Yeah.
and then through into
Another changing room.
the all-weather lifeboat changing
Oh, right.
room.
Okay. Yeah.
So this equipment, as you can see, is slightly different.
Yeah.
They're not one piece. They're all issued with 3-piece. So we've got salopettes, a nice lightweight jacket. If they're going out to a shout and the weather's nice, they put this on.
Uh-huh.
Over the top. All got their own Wellingtons. The same sort of stuff if you need it. The woolly bear. Different helmets that we've just been trialling.
Uh-huh.
So it seems as though they might be going along with those.
Do you trial a lot of new equipment? We were when I was managing rescue, we were one of the first to trial Gore-Tex.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, that's going back some time.
It is in the 70s, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So, and we found a few faults with it in those days.
Yeah, I know a company local to me made Gore-Tex golfing equipment, so I've said,
Yeah.
thank you. Yeah, so these, compared with those helmets, they're something like £300 plus.
Crumbs.
These are £60 plus.
Yeah, world of difference, yeah.
Because on the all-weather boat, they don't really need the side protection,
Uh-huh.
because they'll be inside until they reach the casualty, and then it's outside to deal with the casualty.
Right, okay. So you're in a solid environment.
Yeah, and the same sort of life jackets,
Yeah.
a lot of stainless steel safety lines, which just pull out when they want them. So they will leave here.
Crumbs.
So they'll come out of there straight onto the boat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice and easy.
Yeah. So, say about the tractor. This has all been designed. The tractor and the carriage has all been designed specifically for this Shannon lifeboat.
Right, okay.
So we,
That'd be pretty expensive then.
yeah, that's 1.5 million
Crumbs.
for that.
Yeah.
The boat is 2.5 million.
Yeah. Cracky.
So we had to get, before we got the boat.
Yeah. Right, okay, yeah.
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 So they were designed by a company called Supercat,
Yeah.
who are just up above Honiton. So we're the nearest lifeboat station to Supercat.
Yeah.
So we helped them out doing a lot of development work on bringing this new one out in 2011, 2012.
Yeah.
So
What's the biggest call out she's had then?
fun?
What's the biggest call out that you remember that she's had?
I don't know.
Yeah, there's been quite a few.
I don't know. There's quite a few.
Yeah.
We've been to a few cargo ships that have sunk out in the bay.
Yeah.
But there's only been a few people on board. We've helped out with those. We go and help with other lifeboat stations, like from here, heading southwest, we've got Teignmouth and Brixham that way, heading to the east. We've got our nearest one is Lyme Regis, and then it's Weymouth. But between us, we cover the whole of the bay.
Yeah.
So this has got a range of about 250 miles. Carries 2,500 litres of diesel.
Crumbs.
It's got two 6-cylinder, 13-litre turbocharged Scania diesel engines in.
Yeah.
And two Hamilton water jets on the back, which will push it all along. It weighs 19 tonne. It'll push it all along at about 30 knots. So it's pretty good going. So while the boat's in here, we push the mast up.
Yeah.
For ease of getting on the boat, working on it. Before the boat goes out the door, the last crew member to get on board will lower this. It's all cantilevered, so one man can lower it all down.
Right, okay.
It goes out through the door, as you can see, not a lot
It's
of clearance.
no, world of difference, yeah.
And then as soon as it gets out through the doors, crew members, these are the main aerials.
Yeah.
Okay. So they'll release it at the front, and then they'll push it up. That will lock into there.
So how many crew members does this one have?
6.
Right, okay.
Go out with 6. So basically, front seat, port side, you've got the driver or coxswain, or the helm. Behind him is the mechanic. Front seat this side is radar operator. The middle seat is the chief coxswain, who basically manages the whole boat. Behind him is a navigator. We have electronic and paper charts. And then in the middle, we have a seat we affectionately call the doctor's seat. So that if there is a casualty, we can put them on a stretcher down between the 2 rows of seats. All the first aid kits in the back. The doctor can keep an eye on the patient in the middle.
So you have a doctor with you on these boats all the time, do you?
Not every time.
Yeah.
It depends. If one's called for, we've got a few people here that are paramedics.
So you've got all the facilities in there to cover every...
We can keep things going.
Yeah.
If it's an iffy situation, we'll get a helicopter in.
Yeah, I was going to say.
And lift them off.
Yeah.
Where possible. If it's just basic injuries, we can bring them in, take them up to the docks, have an ambulance ready to pick them up and take them off on the boat.
Yeah.
So to walk through the middle of the boat, where the dashboard is, there's a doorway between, which goes downstairs into the very front of the boat, and then we've got a casualty compartment down there. We can seat 8 to 10 people in there, all harnessed. First aid kit and everything down there, oxygen, Entonox, pain relief stuff.
Yeah.
And then back underneath, so the engines...
That reminds me, when we were in Mountain Rescue, some of the lads would take the Internox so they could get the Pinky and Perky voices going.
Yeah, so the engines are below there. So should we don't, but should Pool need to change an engine for any reason, we take the back row of seats out, take the roof off, and you can crane the engine straight out. This will carry 73 people.
And how old is this one again?
This is just 10 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're number 3. If you look at the number on the front, we are 1303.
Right, okay.
So if you look at the numbers, they'll tell you this is a 13-metre boat, and we're the 3rd one off the production line.
Right, okay.
Number 2 went to Dungeness, and number 1 is still at Poole, and they use it as a training boat.
And where was this actually built?
This was built at Lymington.
Right, okay.
I think the company name was Berthans or something like that, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But once they realised that this boat was going to be successful, they started doing all the builds in-house at Poole. So now I think they've just turned out boat number 50.
I presume it's self-righting as well, isn't it?
Completely.
Yeah.
There's so much weight down there with the engines and gearbox. everything in here. The seats are all carbon fibre,
Yeah.
you know, so there's no weight above deck level at all.
Uh-huh.
So it just tips over.
Yeah. Pulls back.
And should it get to that stage, all the intakes to the engine room have got counterbalance weights on, which just seal them over so that we don't get any water ingress
Yeah.
down to the engine room.
Nice one. Thank you.
We shall go down. Be careful.
And all these plaques. Memorial plaques.
Oh, not forgetting the teddy bear.
Another teddy bear. Nice one.
So that's our view for launching. Straight down, straight out.
Yeah, with a slight curve on it. It's brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah, well, we can't launch anywhere left of the yellow buoys
Right, okay.
because right where those two paddle boarders are, there are rocks.
I see, yeah.
So we tend to go there right and then launch out.
It's a
And
beautiful,
out.
beautiful little day, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like I said, I've never been here before, so this is a day of exploration for me. So,
Yeah. Well, you see the
Thanks lots for
the
talking.
scaffolding going up.
yeah.
When the roof was originally fixed, some slight problems that it worked on, but the whole of the roof's going to have to be lifted a bit.
Yeah.
So it's going to take a few months to do that.
Crumbs.
So this boat, that's the water line. So this boat will
10
sail in a metre,
8 metre. 8 metre. Yeah. Okay.
1 metre.
Yeah.
Yeah, this.
Very streamlined.
So this strop here, this holds the boat on the carriage, because when we get out into the water, the whole thing will jack up to 17 degrees. This will hold it on, and when the coxswain's ready, he'll fit a firing pin. This will drop off,
Crumbs.
the boat will roll off, and away it goes.
How long did it take them to learn how to work the boat? I'm going all the time.
Well, learning it's one thing, operating it's another.
Yeah. Okay.
12 to 15 minutes between setting the pager off, the guys turning up at the station, everybody getting their positions, taking it onto the beach and the boat hitting the water. 15 minutes to 20 minutes and it's away and it's
Yeah.
gone. And it's off.
Are you full time or are you? Have you got another job as well, Brian?
I'm nearly 80, so
Really? Crumbs.
yeah.
It keeps you well. This
I've
sort of.
Yeah, I had to retire. I had to retire 8.5 years ago at 70.
Yeah.
So I came out. But when I didn't start until I was 65,
Yeah.
and I started as, then it was called the DLA. It was a Deputy Launch Authority, so mine was an office job,
Yeah.
and I would be the first point of contact from the Coast Guard. If there was a shout, I'd have to give the go-ahead to launch. So
So how did you get into it in the first place?
I sailed a lot up and down the south coast and down into Biscay, yacht sailing,
Yeah.
and needed something to do in the spare time.
Uh-huh.
I was a motorcycle Grand Prix mechanic before that,
Crumbs.
so the engineering side of it I enjoyed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's big engines and noisy.
Did you work with any
engines.
famous Grand Prix drivers?
Well, motorbikes.
Right. Okay.
You might have heard of Mike Halewood or Barry Sheen.
Yeah. Of course.
I've worked with both of them.
Yeah.
So a lot of other guys
A
as
lot
well.
of stories to tell then.
My friends call it bragging without due care and attention.
No, well, it's about
No,
life, isn't
it's
it?
good.
If you've got a life, brag about it.
Yeah.
It's important that people know about it.
Yeah. So anyway, this is all hydraulically driven.
Yeah.
So this is powered. These things, 10 grand a piece.
Crumbs.
You have to get them from Japan.
Is it a sort of rubber?
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
People say rubber, but you don't use rubber anymore. It's all plastic, really.
Yeah. Okay.
But rubber
Hard wearing plastic.
by another name.
Yeah.
Technical piece of equipment.
Drainage.
No,
Oh no. What's that?
the log or the speedo.
Oh right. Okay.
So as you're going through the water, it turns that There are a couple of small magnets in each of these impellers,
Yeah.
and they send an impulse up to the dashboard.
Right, okay.
Didn't tell them what speed they're going. So here we have the business end. These are the Hamilton water jets.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so when that retracts, this pulls up, okay? And then underneath here, you've got a big orifice, which is like a jet ski.
Yeah.
This can pivot left and right, so that's how they steer it, left and right.
Right, okay.
To go into reverse, as with a propeller-driven boat, there's no need to stop it, put it into neutral, then put it into reverse. Put it into reverse, you go along, and they just drop this down to here. The water hits into the back, and then fires out here.
Right, okay.
So the water comes out that way, so you could proverbially stop it on a sixpence.
Yeah. So these look almost like aircraft wheels.
They're just ordinary car tyres.
Right, okay.
It's just when it's initially coming onto the carriage, it just stops the boat from rocking and rolling on it,
Yeah.
because this whole carriage rotates through 180 degrees. So these will be at the other end, and they sit on the beach,
Right, okay.
and then this is connected to the front of the boat. Guys drag it down to the other end, connect it to the front of the boat, pull it up, and then when it's halfway up, they'll disconnect it, strap the boat onto the carriage, the whole thing will turn 180 degrees, reconnect to the back, pull it all the way back, just like loading the crossbow.
Nice one.
And then that's it, it's all ready to go. Here you've got your exhaust outlets.
Yeah.
So always got a flap on them, because if you get any following waves going, you don't want seawater going back up inside the engine.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So all the hydraulics for driving everything. So these are running at a constant 5,000 psi
Yeah.
pressure.
Comes.
These are deflectors, because when that's up and they fire off, the water comes out here. It's coming out at 1.5 tons a second.
Yeah.
So without this,
Comes.
the first one tended to bend these pipes a bit.
I can imagine.
And then it's just like an articulated vehicle. Got a fifth wheel here,
Yeah.
so it all pivots on this, and it's steered by both the carriage and the tractor. When it's out at the water's edge or in the water, that hydraulic ram will lift all that side up, so that we've got the 17 degrees we
So,
need.
are the crew cross-trained into using the equipment then?
When everybody's using this equipment, they've all been trained to use it.
Yeah.
The drivers, quite a few of the drivers have been mechanics anyway,
Yeah.
have driven cranes and stuff. But the RNLI will teach everybody how to do it their way. We don't want people coming in saying, "Oh, I know how to do that," If you do it our way and it goes wrong, it's our fault.
Yeah.
So here you've got exhaust pipe.
Yeah.
Right. Inlet at the other side, same configuration. Radiator, heat exchanger behind here. Okay. And then
And back to the beginning.
back to the engine,
Nice one.
and I'm sorry it's so dirty in there.
That's all right. That looks clean. Looks pretty clean actually to me.
Our mechanic,
Considering.
our mechanic is the best.
Yeah.
He's really proud of it all, and he looks after it. This was the old. So this was the old tractor
Right. Okay.
in the water. This was the old carriage that we had. So this was all freewheeling, ropes and pulleys, and it was a bit of a nightmare to use.
Slow process.
Yeah, but with the new one now, it's all so much quicker.
Yeah.
Coast Guard rescue that we work quite often with. A lot of them come down here for training.
Yeah.
they'll just message us and say, "Are you free? Can we come down and do some training with you?"
Yeah.
And
I've been dumped in the sea a few times and winched up.
yeah, so old awards of different members of the crew.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So how long's the station been up and running in Exmouth?
From the very first one, 1803.
Yeah, okay.
So the RNLI has been running since 1824.
Yeah.
Because Sir William Hillary, who lived in the Isle of Man, and he saw a lot of local fishermen going out to rescue their friends in the bad weather, were losing their lives. So when they lost their lives, the family lost the income.
Yeah.
So he decided it would be a good idea if he generalised it all around the country, and if they all work for the RNLI, should anything happen to any of the crew, the RNLI would look after them.
Yeah.
And that's worked. We know of a few people that have needed help, families that have needed help. So.
Well, thanks a lot for the talk, Brian.
That's all right.
It's been great.
It's good.
Very informative.
Yeah, well, I hope. So, if you'd like to read that.
Sigelman Samuel Guilford fell from this bicycle when answering a service call on the 6th of July and sustained severe bruising and abrasions. He went on service, but on returning was taken to hospital and later had a stroke from which he died. The RNLI made an allowance to his widow. Yeah.
This is it, yeah.
I mean, it shows, you're at the extreme end of life, but it shows the vulnerability of life as well in what you do. And that, that was the same when I was mountain rescue with the air crashes and everything.
Yeah. So, people are prepared to give their life.
Yeah.
Without a thought.
Yeah.
So.
Thought-provoking. Thanks to the crew and everybody at RNLI Exmouth, that's Royal National Lifeboat Institute. Don't forget to support them. RNLI.org. Love Summertime TV worldwide. You can contact us at ctsphoto1@gmail.com. Don't forget to friend and share the video. It's free.